Viking Client Services, also called Viking Collection Services, is a third-party debt collection agency. They have two locations in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, and Phoenix, Arizona. According to their website, they have been in business since 1969 and provided collection services for some of the largest banks and financial institutions. In other words, they may be contacting you for a variety of types of debt, from an auto loan to a credit card collection. There are many consumer reports of Viking Client Services collecting on credit card debt. Contact information: Viking Client Services, Inc., 7500 Office Ridge Circle, Suite 100, Eden Prairie, Minnesota 55344. Their phone number is 952-944-7575. Their website is www.vikingservice.com. 4 tips to dealing with Viking Client Services. Number 1. Validate your account. If you are currently dealing with debt collectors, the very first step is to request validation of your debt account. This is how you make Viking Client Services prove this debt is actually yours. You can request this by sending a validation of debt letter. We suggest using certified mail. According to federal law, Viking Client Services has to respond within 30 days of receipt. By giving you evidence that proves they own collection rights on your debt, and it is within the statute of limitations. This is in compliance with the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, a federal law that regulates how collection agencies can operate and your rights as a consumer. If your account is not validated, then it must be removed from your credit report. Number 2. Dispute credit report. Is your main priority removing collections from credit report listings? Then you may want to start by disputing credit report information directly with the 3 major credit bureaus. You can do this by sending a credit bureau dispute letter. The credit bureaus will investigate the item on your credit report and potentially remove this negative information. Number 3. How old is your debt? Did you know most consumer debts have a statute of limitations? The statute of limitations places a maximum amount of time you or any consumer are responsible for repayment of a debt. This does not cover all types of debt, but if you are being contacted for payment of an old credit card account, it does apply. Most often, the statute of limitations is 7 years. After that time, you are not legally responsible for repayment, and it must be removed from your credit report. Number 4. Negotiate a settlement payment. It may be in your interest to know more about how to settle with a collection agency. Did you know you can negotiate on the amount of the payment? Often you can pay just a fraction of the total balance. Experts suggest that you begin your negotiations at 25 cents on the dollar. For example, if you have a $400 debt, then you would start by offering a $100 settlement payment. But don't forget, get everything in writing, and that Viking Client Services will send a deletion letter request to all 3 of the major credit bureaus. This deletion request is very important. Without it, you can pay the debt but continue to have bad credit on your credit report. Finally, make your payment. We would recommend that you do this by check or money order, and in the memo line write "for deletion from credit reports." This way, when Viking Client Services deposits your check, you will have another legal contract in addition to your settlement agreement. This is just an extra insurance policy for you in case they forget to delete the bad credit about this debt on your credit report. Tips.